Good Tuesday morning, and welcome to Ice Age TV, the internal combustion engine age YouTube channel that talks about all my cars and trucks and motorcycles, the SUVs, the camper, the pool, the weather, the attitudes, the Grom, the Yashimura exhaust. Wow. And no Kiefer. Kiefer is cooped up in the bedroom with the daughter, because I got an early start this morning. I have a very, very busy day on this beautiful, oh, there he is. He is out and about. He made it. He escaped. So, wow, what a beautiful Tuesday morning. Look at the sky. It's just not a cloud in the sky, and it's cool out. Yeah, it's cool out. I actually have a long sleeve shirt, have my long sleeve pants on. Hey, Kiwi boy, troublemaker, locked me in the office, doggy. So it's just incredibly beautiful up here. I mean, this is a day where you just love to be out doing chores, running errands, riding motorcycles, playing golf, tennis, sailing, boating, whatever it may be. It's just here in the Northern Virginia, Maryland, D.C. area. And as always, as I make it my way over to the cave, the ice compound. Good morning to all those that tune in my channel and watch my channel and participate in my channel. And that's so cool of everybody that does reach out on a personal level. Got my Cooters hat from the Dukes of Hazzard from the Cooters Museum down there in Luray, Virginia. Apparently there's one down in Nashville, Tennessee too, from one of my subscribers reaching out to me. You should check it out if you don't want to be called out. When you go there, you might get that message. So anyways, here making our way across to the barn. Ginger's got some constipation issues. Yeah, it's always something going on in our lives. Is it in sickness or health, or what's the words you hear in your vows to get married? Yeah, I think most people know that that vow. I can't think of the exact way you say it. Hey, Don is on probation. I found alcohol in the truck. See here, Don's been kicked out of the truck because I found a bottle of vodka that's been drank, and he was in his truck, so he can't drive. Probation on Don right there. For anybody watching my channel, hey puppies, come on, let's get you up there up to the office here, and hopefully the door's not locked. And poor Ginger, she's got problems. So we're gonna have to take care of that later because the poor little baby's constipated and she's hurting. So that'll be a nice project. That'll be a dirty project for me. I mean literally, physically. So here we go. It's always the morning conversation where I take a word of the day. I got a mirror over here too. You know, I need to clean that mirror. That used to be my bathroom in my upstairs. So take a word of the day, and we try to get creative on relating that to the cars and trucks and motorcycles, and to me, the state of times of where we are in this country, of what's going on around us, and hopefully we can talk on a level-headed manner and not be violent, mean, or nasty, and just kind of try to be more of a conversation of what we all think we see, but and sometimes many don't want us to see. Yeah, anybody know that story? And so yesterday, it was a recruit conversation, which I think that was a pretty good video. And today, a gentleman by the name of Buck is so incredible that I've been talking about Starbuck. So if you know the movie or you know the book, Moby Dick, Starbuck was he was Ahab's right-hand shipmate, I guess, or what do you want to call. And that was the whaling ship. They called it can't think of the name of that ship. It started with the P, but the Starbuck was a key character, and I've talked about how Robbie Starbuck is a guy right now that's making great accomplishments on getting this DEI shut down through his social media powers and presence. And so now a gentleman out of Oregon, Buck, has reached out on a personal level on my channel, which I take to the heart, because for me, I have many subscribers that reach out to me on a personal basis, email me, and they share their own stories. Dan did that last year out of Canada. And when that happens to me, I'm not lying to you. I feel like, wow, this is incredible that somebody that doesn't even really know me in a physical way, but more or less through the video way, reaches out and takes the time. You know, so I let Kiefer upstairs, didn't I? That was a big mistake, wasn't it? Yeah, the brain ain't working yet this morning. A little early, getting more coffee in me. Hey, Kiefer. So maybe I get him out of the office because he's causing trouble up there. I don't like that. So, and he's distracting me talking about Buck, who's out of Oregon, that sent me a personal email. Come on, come here, Keith. Keith, come here. Ball, Keith, ball. There you go. Yeah, get each other. Well, you're gonna really ruin my channel this morning. So, he sent me a personal email, and I feel right that I can share this email because he's wanting me to recognize the muscular dystrophy awareness month in September. So you guys are not MD, but he has something a little more than that, which I'm going to share with you, that he's wanting me to share on my channel to bring an awareness of what he's fighting for in his life and so many others. And hopefully through my channel, I'm going to send a contribution, and others may do the same. And he's even gone to the extent of reaching out to the Oregon governor to get them to recognize this really bad disease, which I call it a disease, a sickness, that will hopefully help, I guess you would say, the research and development, can maybe help the future of others that don't get this genetic disorder. It's genetic, it's not contagious. So here's a letter, and here's the thing. So I took the word of the day is going to be sick. I told you last week that I thought about using a word sick for the day. And you know what? This is perfect timing because Buck really has created me to do content on the conversation of sick, where we truly are in a sick country. We truly are, and your car gets sick. I mean, many aspects of our livelihoods revolve around sickness. And to me, this is a sickness. So this is here, Mr. Buck. He reached out and said, I have a subtype of muscular dystrophy, and I think it would be cool if you brought it up on the channel if you want. September is MD Awareness Month. I had our state governor make a proclamation to proclaim September 30th Limb Girdle Muscular Dystrophy Awareness Day. That's what he has. Copy it below. Lgmd is often confused with multiple sclerosis. There is no cure for what I have. Here's a couple links to info. Thanks for your content and entertainment. I'm not able to do much of anything physically, so it's been great to come along with you. I've wanted a motorcycle for a while now, but I'm not going to ever be able to live that. So thanks again for all the work you put into your videos, which, wow. For me, how do I respond to that email? I mean, sincerely, to me that has physical challenges in this world, how do I, being a guy who walks around every day, and I'm blessed to have the capability, and he watches my channel, and for me to hear that my channel gives him hope or gives him entertainment, I mean, you know, I don't know how I can even express that in words. I just don't know. I mean, for me, I feel guilty in some ways just because it's like, wow, to hear somebody's challenges like that, and wow. So I sent him back an email, and I'm not going to share that email, but I did want to share with you was through the link that he sent me. So here you are, the facts about limb girdle muscular dystrophy, and I may be pronouncing that dystrophy incorrectly, but it's all about knowledge of reading this. Limb girdle muscular dystrophy is a term for a group of rare conditions that cause weakness and wasting of the muscles in the arms and legs. Wow. The muscles most affected are those closest to the body, proximal muscles, specifically the muscles of the shoulders, upper arms, pelvic area, and thighs. Wow. Wow. Can you even imagine having that in your life? So for Buck, you know, my sincere, just wow. I mean, I just can't emphasize enough. Wow. And I can only hope the best for you. And I can only hope that me sharing this information this morning will bring awareness to others to share this conversation. And maybe others just share the video. And hopefully others can donate to a fund that we can only hope that the scientists and the doctors and the chemists or whatever you want to look at it can hopefully get this genetic disorder handled one day. And as you know, what's so incredible about all this, though, is that I just saw a picture on Facebook of Michael J. Fox, and he has Parkinson's disease. And I was thinking to myself, wow, you know, I saw a picture of him, and if you know Michael J. Fox, it was the Back to the Future. That was his big hit in his heyday of the movies. And sadly, he came down with that disease, I think probably about 15 years ago, and maybe less, but he's sadly, you know, degrading as time goes on. But you know something that I read about Michael J. Fox, well, you realize it or not, he was a raging alcoholic. I never knew that. He actually talked publicly about how he would drink himself to oblivion until he'd pass out. Now, did that bring on the Parkinson's disease? I have no idea. But it was interesting to hear that why was Michael so unhappy with himself that was such a successful actor? I don't know. But to hear about somebody that every night drinks himself to oblivion until they pass out, you know, you've got raging problems. You have a sickness. That's a sickness. It's one thing to drink, but it's all about moderation. So, but what I do remember is he was into this human growth gene technology that Donald Trump shut down. Now, somebody out there watching my channel, they can probably clarify this more than I can, because I did not do any research on this. I'm just going off of vague memory. I swear back in 2016 when Trump came into office that he was pissed off because Donald Trump was shutting down this creation of human beings and the selling of body parts. And so Donald Trump didn't support it. But if I remember right, Michael J. Fox was all on the page that this was going to help him maybe get saved. And they were going to figure out how to make his Parkinson's disease by doing this type of experimental work on human growth tissue. So that's pretty heavy and deep. I'm not knowledgeable on all that. Others may be a little bit more knowledgeable on that. But let's go back to Buck. So for Buck, today's channel, I think, should be dedicated to Buck. And I think the term sick is really incredible to relate with that. And I don't know if he'll take that the wrong way. But what's really intriguing here is the timing of so many things. Last night, what's the odds of me seeing an article in the Wall Street Journal that talks about how they've done a study of how the millennials are starting to get into their 40s. Hard to believe. Late 30s, that's hard to believe for me. I thought millennials would be more like in their 20s. But there's a whole article here, the Wall Street Journal, that talks about how we age. And it's incredible how it brought an awareness to me through reading this article. So here, feeling suddenly older, scientists see aging waves at 44 and 60. And what this talks about, and there's some that are going to take this and challenge it, but what this talks about is how we all age differently on our molecular structure, and how you can maybe age a lot and then you age a little. And it's not really where you hit a certain age and you're just all about all of your aging, you know, starts to really decay. But it's at the end of the 30s and then the 40s. And I can honestly tell you, I remember in my 40s, I was starting to notice a change in my physical capabilities. And so this goes into a lot of content here, which I'm not going to read every bit of it. But what it brought awareness to me is the chronic illness, the chronic disease that we are around. And listen to this, the risk of developing chronic conditions such as cancer and heart disease increases with age. Among Americans 65 and older, nearly 88% have at least one chronic condition. And at least 64% have at least two. Okay, so now you say to yourself, well, what is a chronic condition? Well, a chronic condition, this here now is the National Institutes of Health. It kind of breaks down now what you have. And what they're saying is, in 2018, they see that 51% of the adults in our country had at least one of 10 selected diagnosed chronic conditions. Arthritis, cancer, chronic obstruction pulmonary disease, coronary heart disease, current asthma, diabetes, hepatitis, hypertension, stroke, and weak or failing kidneys. And 27% had multiple. Wow. So half of our country that's not old has a disease. Wow. I mean, isn't that something? I mean, even for me reading this content this morning, and it wasn't for Buck, I don't know if I would have done a little bit more research to kind of bring this morning's conversation to the sick conversations that brings me an awareness of where we are in today's country, our technology. And it's crazy because what I thought to myself was, we are in the edge of incredible artificial intelligence. And you hear about these stocks, NVIDIA, which I've talked about a gazillion times, and you hear about how everybody's getting into artificial intelligence. And that's the growing trend that's massive throughout our country and the world. And I think it's incredible how much money is being dumped into artificial intelligence. And if you kind of think about it, it's all about a chip. You know, we've got a chip, and as we know now, in today's world of cars and motorcycles, everything around us, the phone I have, it has a chip in it. It has a chip, a brain, to operate all these vehicles. And it's incredible. Look at Elon Musk. He has a chip called the Neuralink that he's wanting to put into people's brains to help you even so-called function even better, which there's a lot of people skeptical of that and concerned about that, but he has put a second one in a person. The first person's still alive and hasn't gone cuckoo yet, as far as we know. But the point of that is, it's incredible on how NVIDIA, that has the GPU, the game processing unit, versus over like Intel and other big chip manufacturers, Taiwan semi-manufacturing company, that have the CPU. The GPU is now the big thing in artificial intelligence and how it processes information. And artificial intelligence picks that up. But the point is, we're spending billions of dollars on that technology. And I'm sure some could say, well, maybe that technology is going to come back to us to beat these chronic diseases. But I think to myself also is, for where we are in today's society as humans, it's like we're being surpassed. We're being pushed aside for this other technology, and all the infrastructure and money is being built for computers, that the optimists, you know, the robots, and mankind is failing. If you just read that article I read, if people that are in their 60s, 68% of the people have a chronic condition, which even for me, that is just, wow, that's hard to believe. And over half the people, was the number higher than that? So over half our country is sick. Wow. Now, we get into the mental side of it. That's even a whole nother discussion, I feel like, of the sickness that's growing in our country. So now, how do I take that? Well, that's a lot of content, a lot of information with me. I'm now kind of trying to give that the platform for me to talk about the cars and trucks and motorcycles. And I think the biggest thing I would be willing to bet that everybody here on my channel would immediately say is, I am sick and tired of hearing about this stupid ass electric vehicle battery crap. I am sick of it. I don't want it. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of these green agenda activists telling me how tomorrow's going to be, but they can't fix today. Did you just hear that statement? We live in a society more than ever where you hear the constant rhetoric. We have political figures right now running their mouths of how they're going to fix tomorrow, but they can't fix today. Wow. Does anybody connect the dots here? It's the constant what tomorrow is going to be. I mean, this is like being in a relationship. You know these stories. It'd be like telling my wife, oh, I'm never buying another car or motorcycle ever again, just to beat the conversation. No, honey, I'll make it right down the road. I won't make it right today. I'll make it right down the road. Who doesn't have these conversations in relationships and employers? If it's a constant, well, tomorrow it'll be better, but you can't take care of it today. That's a sickness. That's a sickness, because you're not addressing what the immediate problem is right now. You just want to kick it to the curb. And that's the biggest thing that you hear is kick the can to the curb. It goes on all the time. And so for us, with the technology that we have in front of us with these ICE vehicles, it's a known fact that the continued exploration of alternative fuels and refining fuels and making things more environmentally friendly, more carbon foot friendly, the gas engines, the ICE vehicles really can live for a long time, because synthetic fuels, there's so many things happening to the industry of refining these motors, these internal combustion engine motors, to make them cleaner. But the green agenda doesn't want to hear it. They're hell-bent on oil. Oil is the worst thing in the world. Oil is a disaster. It's a fossil fuel that's destroying the earth, that Mother Nature Earth created, for the frickin' record. Hello. But anyways, the point is, I think most would agree with me, you're sick and tired of hearing about these stupid-ass electric vehicles are going to save the world. But the whole agenda is going mainstream to the point To the point, man, I just can't wait to hear this guy, Sean Fain, that pounded his fist for the United Auto Workers Union to buddy up with the Democratic Party and just pound his fist on how the others are so stupid and wrong in so many ways. That's kind of what he implies to the other equation of those that oppose where we're going. And what I'm bringing up to you is over in Europe, Volkswagen is possibly in dire straits. And somebody like, nah, no way. Oh, yes, they are. Volkswagen's that European conglomerate. The Chinese, here's the ballgame. I mean, I've talked about it so much. Build Your Dream, LI, there's a lot of Chinese infrastructure. We already know that where the batteries all get made, for the most part, are the Chinese. They mastered making electric batteries for cars. This administration is scared of them. The automotive industry in this country is scared of China because they know China can just obliterate them to the point that this country wants to put huge tariffs of any chance of any Chinese car ever coming here. Well, over in Europe, that's not the ballgame. Volkswagen is getting decimated because of China. The electric vehicles are destroying the infrastructure of Volkswagen. Volkswagen is getting ready to lay off thousands and thousands of people. They're getting ready to shutter plants because of this electric vehicle revolution. China is winning. Wow, is anybody connecting the dots? China is winning. China, even though you'll read articles, China's country isn't in great shape, their economy's down, it doesn't matter. Chinese have mastered how to make electric vehicles. They have all the key rare minerals to make it very affordable, to actually make it where others have a very challenging time, to create their own mining operations in other parts of the world. The list goes on and on and on. So the Chinese, the green agenda is a traitor to our country. Why? Because they are showing favoritism that's going to dominate the Chinese to be able to rule the car markets. That's where it's all going to change. We're going to witness the Chinese overtake the world trade of car manufacturing over the Europeans, over the Germans. It's big. Over Volkswagen's been one of the biggest producers for years. Toyota, the list goes on and on and on. So the sickness, it's a sickness, that you have these people hell-bent that they know what's going to lie tomorrow. They can't fix today, but they want to take sides on eliminating the ice age to bring the EV age, which is to empower the Chinese age. The next word where it's all going, not ice age, it's not EV age, it's China age. That is where this country is going. It is very, very bad. It's a sickness. And you know what the sickness is? It's these devices in my hand. That I said yesterday was the recruiting. What's going on? What is the biggest concern of TikTok? It's undermining the youth of this country. It's a sickness. I witness it. I'm part of it. You're part of it. We can't let go of these devices. And these devices I see in these younger people, it's all day long. So it's a sickness that they can't break away and go do something else besides having a phone attached to them. I think most kids would have to be put in an insane asylum if they lost their frickin' phone, if they could never have a phone again. I mean, I can understand that. It's just incredible to think about how we, Don, don't be drinking and driving, man. I thought I told you that on the email. Okay, it's all right. We're going to help you out. I know. I hear you. All right. Well, you can ride the dirt bike. You can still have the rights to the dirt bike, only on the property, though. So, yeah, I'm losing it, right? I'm talking to a piece of paper. Don. Hey, Don. How you doing there? And Jenny and Mandy, right? It's Mandy, I think, is your daughter's name, if I remember that right. And hey, Vinny. And hey, Charles. And hey, thanks so much for everybody reaching out, helping my wife go buy a gun. My one friend, Chris, says, I sure hope you keep that camper locked up at nighttime. I was like, yeah, it's not about us. My wife and I had a great time. Just so you know, for all those here, my wife and I had a fabulous weekend. We spent a day Sunday together, spent a day yesterday together. We had a really good time. So probably one of the best weekends she and I have had in a long time. So that was really a blessing. And so here's the Honda Grom, where I put the Yoshimura exhaust. That thing is so badass. That thing is so much fun. See, the motorcycles, and that's what I was going to get around to. Kind of back off a little bit from all the heavy language here with the sickness of the world and the green agenda activists and the politicians. Yeah, who doesn't make you sick when you see a certain politician? It goes both ways. I mean, I get all that. I'm sure many people are like, oh my gosh, that just makes me sick to my stomach. Goes both ways in how we look at different, it depends on which side of the equation you're on. And so, look at good old Keefy boy. Keefy boy, is this guy fast? If you watch my video, he is so fast. That dog can just run all day long. And that dog can run. He knows what I'm talking about. He can run all day long. Yeah. It's crazy in how that dog wants to just eat your tiger. And yeah. Is it somewhat dangerous? Yeah, it is. It is somewhat dangerous. I don't deny that. I mean, so for the sickness, yeah. If anybody goes to the car dealership in recent times, you're sick to your stomach because of the price of the car. If anybody goes to finance the vehicle, many of you are going to get a surprise because you're going to be sick to your stomach when you see that interest rate and that monthly payment. Yeah. Who hasn't gone out and bought a car and then has buyer's remorse? And then you get your first car payment and you're sick to your stomach because you're like, wow. I'm sure Vinny up there that bought the Challenger, he'll be like, yeah, I can relate with that, Mr. Iceman. Yeah, the what? I get a car payment now? I got convinced, sucked into your channel and buying a Challenger? Yeah, right. So, I mean, but I get that. Who doesn't get sick to their stomach when you're walking up to your car in the parking lot and you see somebody ding the side of your car? Or they scratched it, or they backed into it and drove off. Does that just make you sick? Yeah. I mean, if you're a person that's out and about and has had a lot of cars your lifetime, you do know that that's like the worst. In fact, yesterday, we were out in a Ram truck. I just love this Ram truck. We were out driving around and having a good old time, running some errands. And when I came out from this one shopping center, I thought somebody had keyed, put a scratch. I saw this right here. And I was like, oh no. Okay. Uh-oh. They did. No. No, I'm pretty sure that's yeah. So that's just like a spider web or something that's got burnt into the paint. But at first I was like, somebody freaking keyed my freaking truck. Why would they do that? This is so much fun back here. I got the tailgater. This grill is so much fun. I just can't believe that I forgot about this grill. Last night I made everybody hamburgers and some really good seasoned shrimp. Chesapeake Bay seasoning and lemon on it, and cooked it. And I cook it, and it's just so good. That was just a great, because it's simple. Just had hamburgers and some chips and some good old shrimp. Got that up there at Sam's Club, local here. I like going to Sam's Club because you're not forced to buy big bulk quantity. I didn't know about that, but yeah, good point. Who isn't sick to their stomach when they go to fill up their car? Or they're sick to your stomach when you go to the grocery store and you see the bill and you look at your cart and you're like, but where is everything? Anybody know those stories? Yes, I think we all can relate with that. Who isn't sick to your stomach when your car breaks down? Yeah, you're stuck on the side of the road. Or you run out of gas. I mean, there's so many things that you can relate with the sickness of who we are. And then for some, I don't disagree. You've got a sickness of buying things all the time. I know, I do. I've talked about it many times. I need to make the Cars Anonymous club where we have weekly meetings and we talk about our sorrows of where we resort to go buying something to please ourselves, to make ourselves happy because we get bummed out and we look to material things to make us happy. Yeah, I mean, people call me out on that all day long. How many times have I done that? Hundreds. Probably thousands. I should have the Guinness Book of World Records for all the vehicle purchases. There's nobody. I just only wish I had by every single tag, every single registration of every car I've bought in my lifetime. I guarantee it'd be 600 vehicles. I can guarantee it. If you're watching my channel for the last 4 years, I'd have to say that I'm at least at 150 vehicles. At least of vehicle purchases since you started watching my channel. That'd be my guess. So just in 4 years. Yeah, you go, does that continue? Challenging. And here's the thing that's making me sick to my stomach is Florida insurance. The Florida insurance has gone through the roof. So one of my friends, Chris and I rode on Friday and had a good time. Then Chris, Shannon and I rode on Saturday. We had a great time. Then they went to ride. We were going to ride Sunday, but that didn't really play out. But I felt more obligated to spend time with my wife. And then Chris and Shannon went to ride yesterday. And I just felt like, you know what? I got to spend time with my wife. And that's what I did. And she really appreciated that. And I was like, we can ride motorcycles anytime we want. And just spending quality time with my wife was huge. But now that my daughter has a boyfriend, it kind of changes things. And that's what's kind of changed in the relationship. Anybody here that's married and has kids go off to college, it changes things in your relationship. And for my wife and I, my daughter's been always with me on everything I do and everywhere I go. And in some ways, it's separated my wife and I because my daughter and I do so many things together, but my wife doesn't. And now that my daughter's kind of evolving to having a boyfriend and spending more time with her boyfriend, it's kind of opened the door back up for my wife and I to kind of be back the way it was many, many years ago before we had Julia. And it's kind of neat because we're kind of getting more connected again because we have our own time together instead of having a child. And maybe as a parent here, you understand that. And you know what I think to myself from Buck reaching out to me is I have personal friends that have children that are now adults or teenagers that have severe sickness, have severe challenges, physical, mental, and wow. And I think to myself, man, be unbelievable for those parents because you'll never have a separation. It's going to be incredibly challenging. If you're a parent and you have a child and you have to take care of them because they have challenges that everybody here knows these stories. Everybody here on my channel, I guarantee, has a friend, family member. It could even be you. I know that for a fact. I already know there's some subscribers of mine that reach out to me on a personal level, and they've got challenges, and that is huge on a strain on a relationship. I mean, it's wow. I mean, and so the commitment when I run into people like that, and then I think to myself, the people that mouth off all day, they're just nasty and just make rude comments, and I think, oh my gosh, there are some people in this world that have such challenges every day they get out of bed. But these other people just take for granted that everything's beautiful, everything's be great, and what's the big deal? And I can just mouth off, and I can be nasty. It's so bad. It is so bad on how that goes on in society. And I know for a fact those that don't have the freedom of those think, if you were in my shoes, you'd have a different look out in life. And instead of crapping on everybody, you'd probably be more in life. I can only help people. And that's the thing about, life is, where is the helping hand as the ongoing, the ongoing social media machine. The social media machine is a sick thing, and sincerely, when I go to X, it makes me sick when I get on there to see the people their mouth off. I can't stand X. It makes me sick because all it is people being very nasty and hiding behind a screen, running their mouth, and just nasty stuff. And they're all paid. They're just being paid by somebody to mouth off all day. And that's the only thing I can figure out. I can't see how I would want to get on social media and start telling people you're stupid because you believe in this. You're a dumbass. You effer. I just can't see that. And I'm like, what drives that? What is being accomplished? That politician's not going to come visit your house. So the only thing I can figure out is you've got to be paid. Somebody's paying you to run your mouth all day. And I think most people would agree that the big social media people that run their mouth all day, supporting one over the other, they're being paid to run their mouth, to try to persuade people, to try to recruit people. And to me, it's a sickness. I don't know if you saw at the Democratic convention that some Republican well-known social media people showed up, and there was just one kid that was going nuts. This kid looked like a sick individual. He was literally going nuts over one guy named Charlie Kirk. If you know who Charlie Kirk is, he was going nuts that this guy was present at the DNC. And when he was having a actual meeting of people around him, the kid in the background was jumping up and down, screaming bloody murder because Charlie Kirk was in his territory at the DNC. And it's like, dude, you're sick. You're just a sick young man. What is going on? Why can't somebody come here and participate and listen to what your plan is on how you're going to make tomorrow better, but you can't make today right? So, all right, that's it. I'm going to kind of leave it at that. A very, very busy day. And I got to get things in order because it was a holiday weekend. I only hope everybody had a really blessed, really blessed weekend to have a great time. I did. I had a great weekend. We had great weather. And for Buck, I'm not the expert YouTuber guy, but I have no problem of trying to help Buck on how you can go to the limb girdle muscular dystrophy awareness. This one's based out of, I believe, Wisconsin, and so I think, once again, I'm just not the most efficient guy on YouTube on how I create this link into to you to be able to hit that, and then you can go and whether you want to donate or you want to learn more about this, that would be pretty cool. So this is the donation website, and once again, if somebody out there can tell me how to link this into my YouTube, how do I do that? I'm not real sure. I have to go to my platform. I'll have to kind of look into that. I'll try a little bit, but then it turns into a long day. But checks can be made to the Lgmd Awareness Foundation, Inc. And I'm going to take a picture of this. 638 Kennedy Drive, Twin Lakes, Wisconsin, 53181, USA. So there you are. If you want to help Buck out, he's asking me to share this with everybody because it is the muscular dystrophy awareness month, and so there you go. Hopefully I'm holding this long enough so you can see where you can help out and send that, and he wants a sticker, which is really cool, and that's really nice of Buck to reach out on my channel and to share his personal experience, and others do too. And that just I take it to heart. I really do. I take it to the heart. I think, wow. I mean, just beyond words can't express how it makes me feel when people do that. And so, I'm not a real big YouTuber. I bitch about it a lot of time and how I feel like my channel should be bigger, and I get kind of aggravated on other things with YouTube. But this is incredibly powerful to me by any means, to be able to be a YouTuber and to hopefully help others. And if I'm doing that, and here's the thing, I don't want to be Mr. Fix-It. I don't want to be the prophet, the Messiah. That's not the goal here. I just like to share information. I just like to share my antics. That's what I like to do. And I just think if people can get a kick out of it, and it's better to watch this than the frickin' news, God bless you, because who the hell wants to watch that? The U.S. Open, it's incredible what's happened in the U.S. Open. How all the key players, Djokovic is gone, Coco Gauff is gone, Carlos Alcaraz is gone. It's incredible on how all these people are just being eliminated that are the top contenders in the world. And previous U.S. Open winners, if you're not a tennis person, you don't care, but if you are, you should tune in because it's still early in the game. This is going to be a really great week. And then for the NHRA, if you're watching Tony Stewart, I think he came in 7th. I mean, it's hard to believe. I believe the NHRA season, kind of for the most part, is at its end, I believe. It's hard to kind of keep track of that, but I like watching the NHRA. That kind of just is comforting to watch it, hearing those cars go. And if you're a motorhead, tune into NHRA. And it's been very fun to watch Tony Stewart take Leah Pruitt's seat, and it's hard to believe that Tony Stewart's driving Top Fuel dragster. Wow. That's beyond believable for a guy that never did drag racing. He was a circuit racing guy, so wow, for you to get to that level where he did that quickly and even come in second place, I think at one. I don't know if he came in second or not, but it's very incredible to see what he's accomplished in one season. And that's crazy stuff. You watch that. If you ever can go to a drag strip and watch Top Fuel, you're going to be blown away because the earth moves under your feet. You cannot get on TV what you get in real person. In real person, it rattles the stadium. It's beyond believable. It is so cool. So anybody out there, I can't emphasize enough, you want to go take a nice little weekend adventure, if you have an NHRA event in your area or within reasonable driving distance, you should go. At least go for the last day. Julie and I went for 4 days. We kind of got burned out by the 4th day, but at the end, wow. Definitely go at the end. It's just phenomenal. That's it, everybody. Thanks so much for watching my channel. And as always, I'm going to send a sticker to Buck. I'll send a few stickers. And anybody else out there that wants to share the channel, Ice Age TV, at gmail. Well, acehtvcomments at gmail.com. And Darren, the Bison guy, so glad he reaches out because I get a lot of new subscribers and then kind of like disappear. But Darren, he's staying very active on my channel, and so many others are as well. It's just so, it just drives my channel. That's the reality. One for you guys, and I'm going to tell you straight up, one for you guys doing what you do, I wouldn't be here. So even though I'm the guy always in front of the camera and talking and yakking, but you guys in the back end making these comments, participating, that's the only reason I keep on doing this. If I wasn't getting comments, I would not be here anymore. I would have given up. I'm like, forget it. It's not worth it because just nobody relates with me, and I get it, and I just have to move on to something else different. So thank you so much because you're part of the channel. You are the channel, and you're the importance of the channel, and hopefully we can all grow together and become better, and hopefully you all become wealthier too. How about that idea, right? Hey, God bless. Have a great day. Stay tuned for more adventures.